different approach. I am hoping that you guys are all doing well. You're all healthy and strong. Today's topic is about anger issues. And the reason I talk about it is because your girl over here is working on her anger issues. No, like really, I'm seriously working on it. Me and God, we working on that. We working on that. So, okay. When it comes to anger, a lot of it stems from the stuff that we've been through. Some of us don't think about it a lot. Some of us go through life and suppress all those memories. Some of us go through stuff and we're just like a robot. Like you're not even conscious. You're not even thinking. But the anger and the energy is just building up and it's just building up. And I speak from experience always. And one of the things that I struggled with as I got older, when I became a teenager and even a little into my 20s, I was really wilding out. Like I'm talking like it's some people, and I feel this, like some people literally have a hard time talking to me because they don't know how I'm gonna react. And it's taken me a long time to be able to get to a place where I had to acknowledge the fact that it's not them, it's me. It's not their fault that this is a bad situation. They were just trying to have a casual conversation and I couldn't handle it. So I would just lash out. And I'm bringing this to everyone's attention because I feel like a lot of times people, the way the world makes you feel about anger is it always makes you feel like it's justified. If it's justifiable, then it's okay. Oh, well, I had to beat him up. I had to beat her up. Look what they did to blah, blah, blah. No, you didn't. You didn't have to fight. You didn't have to do that. And you didn't have to curse them out. No. And I'm not sitting here judging nobody because this is me. I'm talking to, like, when I do these videos, it's like I'm talking to myself. These are the dialogues that are in my mind because when we're trying to be our higher selves and when we're here, it's like this struggle in the transition. So it's like, I want to be up here where I'm at peace. I don't know about nobody else, but I want to be in a place in my evolution where stuff doesn't bother me. I don't want to be bothered no more. I don't want to be mad that they said this, that they said it in this tone, that they did this, that they did. I don't want to be angry. I want to live in a place where I'm just loving people unconditionally and I'm not mad about it. And this is real because we have pain bodies. A lot of our trauma and our stuff is stored in our bodies. And this is something that I learned in yoga. Sometimes on the yoga mat, people will be doing asanas and they will be like, I'm in this, I'm in this, I'm in this, here, and then just start crying. Or start laughing, or memories will pop up. And they're like, what's going on? And it's that a lot of stuff is stored in your muscles, especially your hips and your thighs, your psoas muscle, all that stuff. Oh my God, the stuff that comes up and you're like, I haven't thought about that since I was a kid. I haven't thought about that since it happened. I never thought about it. And there was something that somebody said the other day that I heard. They said that, I believe they said Tony Robbins said this. Think about the situation that was traumatic for you. Now think about 5 minutes before that, what you were doing. Now look at it through the eyes of God. Was it perfect? And the person who was speaking was like, yeah. It was. And it gave me a different understanding because a lot of times we look at life as, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? But when we shift our perspective, we start looking at it as, how can I grow through this? What can I learn from this? How can I become better from this? And we start to think, okay, if we look at it from the eyes of God, is this perfect? And I always like to go back to purpose because I have really analyzed and looked at my own life and I've realized like, okay, if I wasn't abused as a kid, if I wasn't raised by a different family practically, if I didn't like go through the dark age in my life when I was a teenager, if I wasn't sexually assaulted, if I didn't do all that wild stuff, I couldn't be me. I couldn't. And so I always feel like we have to learn to look at things differently. And it's not to say that it's going to take away the anger from the stuff that happened. And it's going to take away the anger from the people that did you wrong. That's not what I'm saying. You're probably still going to be angry, because I'm still angry. And I'm not angry about what happened, but it's the anger that's stored in my body. Like literally there will be moments where in my head I go, no, don't curse them out. Don't. And in my heart, I feel this heat, this fire, where I literally want to go and do something wild. And I literally have to come to a place where I'm aligning myself, and I have to shift my thoughts, and I have to think, okay, no. What are you grateful for? Okay, I'm grateful for this moment. What can I learn from this moment? Okay, this is what I'm like, literally. I'm only sharing this because I feel like a lot of us struggle with anger and we don't really know what to do with it. And I think in the beginning, what has to happen is we have to shift our perspective. And if you think of, there's this little, thing I heard. If a pocket picker sees a priest, what do you think he's gonna see? Pockets to pick. But if a priest sees a pocket picker, what does the priest see? A soul to save. And it's that idea of everything that you are looking for, wherever your perspective is, that thing that you're always looking for is the thing that you'll always find. And when we learn to shift our perspective and we start to look at life differently, it helps us be able to come to terms and at peace with the fact that stuff happened in our life, that people did stuff. But if it wasn't for those people and those things, I couldn't have grown. And now here's the big part that's all on you. None of this will ever make sense to you unless you are committed to growing. And I'm just going to be honest, because anything that I ever say in any of these videos will never make any sense unless it rings and you're like, oh, I'm trying to grow. Okay, let me try to do this. Let me do that. This is all introspective stuff. Growing means sitting by yourself and taking a moment to think about your life and the role that you played in it. Growing means that you have to learn different coping mechanisms, to learn how to deal with your anger, to learn how you can become better and learn how to transmute that anger. I have a lot of energy. Sometimes I walk into a room and I'm so excited. People are like, yo, she's bugging. And I'm like, ah! I'll go, my mom hates this. I'll go in the kitchen and she's not looking and I'll just, wow! And she'll be like, why are you screaming? I'm just so excited about I don't know. I just feel like that's the kind of energy. And so there's different types of anger. But if you are the person like me who has that anger that's just ready to move and you're just going and you just want to do stuff, you have to learn to flip that around. And how can I use this energy into a positive thing? Now my anger, when I get really pissed, I'm about to beat somebody up, I run. I put my shoes on, I run. I have to get it out. I run until I'm not angry anymore. I literally run. Or I do yoga. If I have to, I go for a long drive. I put my headphones in, I block the world out, and I just listen to it. Okay, this is what I do. I focus on my breath. There's different ways of learning to cope. And I feel like once we start to work on our containment of our energy and learning to use it in different ways, we start to put a halt to the damage. And it gives us the time and the space to be able to work on the stuff that we haven't worked on yet. We need to get to a place where we're comfortable with being uncomfortable. We're comfortable with the fact that we're not always right. And comfortable with the fact that it's not always right to be right. We have to learn to choose kindness over being right sometimes. especially if you have anger issues, because you will say things that you don't mean. You will say things that you can't take back. You will hurt people that you've never wanted to hurt. You will cause people to feel things that you wish you'd never make them feel. I've been there. I have been there so many times. I have cursed out all the people I've ever loved. I have problems. And I have had to apologize a bajillion times. And it's all a part of the growing and the learning process. And it's a part of learning to be able to cope with who we are and the stuff that's happened to us. We have to get to a place where we're stopping the perpetual cycle. And we're breaking those generational curses. We're breaking those toxic cycles. We're not doing it anymore. I was abused, but I will not let that continue after me. I have been hurt in this particular way, but I will not let that happen after me. There's a certain way that my family has been doing things, but it is not conducive to growth. I have to cut it, and after me, whatever offspring I have will have a different life. We'll have a different view. We'll have a different experience of being on this earth. We have to learn that sometimes the stuff that we have is generational. My father was violent, extremely violent, and alcoholic, wilding out. And it passed on to his kids. And I'm just one of his few kids. And sometimes I'm like, wow, like I see it in my siblings. I see it in myself. Somebody has to learn to take the responsibility, and we have to break it. And I'm not saying it has to be you, but if you are the person that is dedicated to growth and you happen to be the one that's getting put on to these different types of thinking and different types of living and being introduced to a different way of life and a different set of consciousness standards, then maybe you're the person who's been set on this planet to change the way your family has been existing in life. Maybe you'd be the one to change everybody's life after you. And I ain't even trying to put this type of pressure on you, because you might be real young right now. But I'm just saying, like, even if it's just for you, how can you have a better relationship with the people in your life if you can't even hold your anger? Anger will make you say when you don't want to say. It will make you do when you don't want to do. I have had times in my life where I have said things while I'm saying it. In my head, I'm like, I shouldn't be saying this. I say this with love, y'all. I say this with love because been there, done that, still doing it, still working on it, still healing from all of that. So that's the message for today. Let's get into a practice that will help us with our anger. And let's get into a place where we're okay and we understand that the stuff that's ever happened is all because it's helping us get into our purpose. But only when we're taking the time and the chance and the effort to grow and to learn. So with that being said, peace and love, my friends. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay blessed. Bye.